play Beast of Burden? Yeah, that's Beast of Burden is my favorite. This is the first one. We'll probably get to Beast of Burden eventually. We'll see if I feel like doing the second one. I don't like that one nearly as much as 1 or 3. Also, dumb question. My, everything's going through okay, right, on audio? Like, you can hear me, I'm not being drowned out by the game? Okay, very good. We'll give it like, I don't know, maybe one or 2 more minutes, then we'll get started. I'm just gonna sit here and vibe because this game's soundtrack is incredible. Picked up again. Oh, it's mostly clear. Alright, so how is everybody doing today? That's probably enough time. We might as well go ahead and get started. So hello everybody, first of all. Thanks for stopping by. If you are unfamiliar with this game, well, there's several things to talk about, but the biggest thing to know going in is that this game has a kind of like it's the idea is that it's like a game master almost, but the end result is that it comes off like there's like a Bastion-esque narrator that happens, so I am going to mostly let him handle things, but obviously once we start getting into actual gameplay, there will be things to talk about, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to him.
Good afternoon, or should I say evening, morning. Morning? At any rate, I'm the Game Master. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Before we begin, there is something I must tell you. You see, my job is to draw you into this world with my voice and cards, which is why I believe it best for you to play with the sound on. In fact, I insist on it. However, as you can see, my voice is subtitled, so you can always read along as well.
Yes, I believe we would like subtitles.
Now then, Are you ready? Let's begin. Welcome to Voice of Cards. You are about to take the first steps of your adventure. Through a realm of sword and sorcery you will travel, battling bloodthirsty monsters as you strive to realize your ambitions. I have every faith you will accomplish great things here. I am merely a witness to your exploits. Now then, your departure draws nigh. May your journey be a safe one. We begin in a cave. The surrounding rocks are slimy with damp. It feels as if some foul creature could leap out from the shadows at any moment. Yet in this horrible place gathers a fellowship of 3 adventurers. One is a young woman. You can tell just by looking at her, she enjoyed a good upbringing. Another is a stoic warrior. He stands at the ready, scanning his surroundings for any sign of threat. Last but not least is the old man. He has a sagely air and gazes into the darkness stretching out before him. These adventurers seek a certain treasure hidden in this cave.
So yeah, this game is, we'll politely call it slightly inspired by, like, tabletop designs.
An iron door towers before you. It has rather conspicuous handles.
See, we can occasionally just take a little peek at the dialogue options.
The stoic man takes hold of the handles and pulls as hard as he can, but the door doesn't so much as budge. The stoic man winds his leg back and lets fly a powerful kick into the door. As his foot connects, the door trundles to the side. So it was one of those sliding contraptions.
Oh, I love...
Something leaps out at the fellowship from the darkness.
Yes, thank you, narrator. Yeah, no, I love this game's aesthetic. They do, like, it's totally just a regular JRPG underneath it all, but, like, the things that they do with this, God, it works so well. So, yeah, this is just the tutorial. The only real thing of note is that those gems in the top left corner are sort of our communal mana pool. So, we're just going, but, you know, we're just gonna send these guys out of here. There'll be time to talk about combat, you know, when we don't have these overpowered starting characters.
Congrats.
Thank you, Steam, for that achievement. That was very helpful. You're right, that was an easy win.
These adventurers have seen their fair share of battle and defeat their attackers with ease. As the trio approaches the treasure chest, an awful rumbling resounds deep in the cave. "You shall not have it," a voice growls. Before the wary trio appear creatures the likes of which they've never seen.
I love these little slime knights. They're, it's very cute. Ah, right, no, slimes are weak to fire. That's right. Alright, we can just kill this guy.
Excellent.
Oh right, he doesn't have a fire spell. I guess that must be what Melanie has. Tragic. Imagine not having a full complement of magic elements. What a failure of a mage.
The young woman edges around the monster's bulk to stand before the treasure chest. There is treasure inside, no doubt about it, but it's locked tight.
I wonder which one of these we should use to open the chest.
The woman withdraws a tool that looks nothing like a key. Spoilers, it doesn't open the lock.
Tragic. Let me burn the chest open, you cowards.
The woman slides the simple key into the lock. The chest clicks open. Inside is what appears for all the world to be an ordinary medicine bottle. At last, we've retrieved the royal treasure, the old man says. The woman and warrior exchange a nod. Their quest complete, the triumphant trio put the cave behind them. This is Castle Advent. Queen Nilla reigns over the kingdom from within its walls. In the crowded audience chamber jostle all manner of knights, adventurers, and bounty hunters. The white-robed adventurers stand close to the throne. A palace guard calls over the tumult, "Be silent. Her Royal Majesty graces us with her presence." The cacophony ceases the moment Queen Nilla enters the chamber. Seated upon the throne, the Queen faces the crowd, her lips part. "Thank you all for heeding my call to slay the dragon. Whatever it takes to defeat this reawakened evil, I ask that you do it. Whomsoever conquers this beast will be honored for ages to come and handsomely rewarded." At that, the gathered crowd cheers loud enough to shake the castle's very foundations. "Leave the dragon to us, Your Majesty," say the white-robed adventurers, as if the beast's demise at their hands is assured. "Indeed, you did well to reclaim the royal treasure," the Queen replies. "I thank you, for my stomach becomes most upset without it, so the treasure is a staple of the royal medicine cabinet. It puts my mind at ease to know the Ivory Order offers its aid in slaying the dragon. The trio are disciples of the Ivory Order, a charitable organization beloved the realm over. Indeed, anyone would think this illustrious trio the heroes of our tale. But they'd be wrong. So we just gotta slay the dragon and we'll be drowning in gold. The man trails off, drooling over unknowable fantasies. Beside him, a strange creature lets out a chirping coo. Pay attention, because this is important. There he is, or there you are, I should say, the hero of our tale. A humble bounty hunter. You love little in this realm more than coin. A seemingly tedious fellow who doesn't hesitate to claim the title of hero for yourself. When you heard about the quest to slay the dragon, it was the promise of reward that lured you to the castle. Now then, if you wish to officially register for the hunt, see me so I can get your signature. You wonder why you need to sign anything, but head for the guard anyway.
I love that little switcheroo. Makes you makes you think that you're gonna get to control that one group, and then it's like, nope, actually, you're this little fuckhead way in the back here. I guess we should probably go ahead and get started then.
"Sign here," says the guard, handing you a pen and paper.
Oh, okay, it did just automatically put it in. Yeah, his default name is Ash, and that's a perfectly fine name for what we'll ostensibly call our hero.
You sign your name. A fine name. After you've signed, the guard motions to the strange creature beside you. The monster, too. You sign your companion's name as well. Mar. Mar, your friend and sometimes traveling companion. Though he can't speak the human tongue, he seems to understand it well enough. Thank you. Now we'll know what to have engraved on your tombstones. Can't ask the dead what name to mark their grave with, after all. The guard chortles.
Mar is an extremely good boy. Just look at that face. How could you turn it down?
You want the reward as badly as you don't want to die. You figure you better make some strong friends.
All right, we're signed up to go fight the dragon. Let's get our party together.
Offer to join forces with the Ivory Order trio? We select few are sufficient to defeat the dragon. We require no additional aid. And we certainly don't require the aid of a no-name wastrel. With that, the trio takes their leave of the castle.
Okay, well, that could have gone better, but look at all these silhouettes. We have many more opportunities to get a gang together.
I'll let the Order handle this. Me, I'm heading home. No way am I adventuring with anyone who keeps that sort of creepy company, he says. Before you even open your mouth to ask him to team up, he cuts you off. Thanks, but no thanks. You ask him to team up, but he refuses angrily. I ain't splitting the reward with nobody. You weren't planning on sharing either, so you don't try to change his mind. Never know what you might hear that'll lead you in the right direction. The man wanders off somewhere, muttering to himself. You'll need tough gear, the man says, wandering off. Let us depart. We have a realm to save. He grabs his less than enthused colleague by the wrist and drags her off. You catch a glimpse of the terrified look on her face, and then the two disappear out of the audience chamber. I am one of the guards charged with the castle's protection. I take not a single step from my post.
Right, okay, well, that could have gone better, but surely we can find someone in town that will help us. Maybe they just didn't make it up here to see the queen.
You've yet to find any help for your quest. Things don't look that reassuring as they are, but the decision is up to you. In the end, you set out, just the two of you, to hunt the dragon. A weapons merchant accosts you in the street, despite your best efforts to mind your own business. He speaks to you in a voice barely above a whisper. You want the most powerful weapon there ever was?
I mean, that sounds like that would be a pretty good investment for our dragon slaying journey.
he conspicuously checks his surroundings before revealing this weapon of apparent renown to you.
I don't know about that. I don't know if that one's legit.
To hear him tell it, this is a legendary weapon, and one of its kind at that. It can be yours for 20,000 gold pieces, he says. You can smell the scam a mile away, and yet the aura of this weapon does have something of the legendary about it.
Well, if I had 20,000 gold, maybe we would continue this conversation, but I think we're going to be a little bit short of what you're asking here.
You ask who in their right mind would pay so much for something so clearly fake, stolen, or forged. Well, you know where to find me, if you change your mind, he says, tucking the weapon away.
Later on in the game, you absolutely can buy that sword, if you're so inclined.
The old man kindly warned you of the dangerous monsters outside of town. The door is shut tight. You spy a keyhole on it, suggesting the existence of a corresponding key. The child says you should see Nexton as soon as you leave the castle town.
Also, the town names in this game are pretty incredible. I forget what the castle town is called, but it said Nexton is the next one, and then it's like Thryston after that.
Before you stands a sign calling for people to join the hunt for the dragon. Earlier, you saw the bit about the handsome reward for whoever slays the dragon, and hightailed it to the castle. A woman stares at the sign, transfixed. Her face curls into a scowl as she notices you. "Monster!" the woman cries, and flings magic at Mar.
Wow, fucking rude. Imagine just assaulting my companion in the middle of town. Clearly, we should leave this lady alone.
Startled by the spell, Mar grows dizzy. You whirl to the woman and shout, "What are you doing?" "This ain't a monster," you growl, as the woman snarls over you, "I hate monsters." The two of you bicker for quite a while.
Wow, they're not kidding when they said we were waiting for a while. Oh, I forgot it was that long.
In the end, the woman admits she may have jumped to conclusions, but stubbornly refuses to apologize. Inwardly, you call her unsavory names as your attention shifts to a different topic of conversation. Turns out she really hates the dragon and would love to take him down with her own two hands. But she knows she's no match for him alone, so she's at a loss for what to do. When you tell her you're after the same thing, she squints down her nose at you. "Fine," she says. "I can help you."
I mean, you did just try to murder my companion, but, maybe we can redirect that anger towards other monsters. That seems like that would be useful.
She's a little annoying, but you are looking for quest companions. "I only want to see the dragon dead. I don't care about anything else," she mutters. You overhear her remarks and grin without thinking. Then you don't care about getting a share of the reward. That suits you perfectly. you happily join forces with the black-clad woman. She introduces herself as Melanie. She tells you she is a witch, but says nothing of why she hates monsters or what grudge she bears against the dragon.
Alright, well, I guess we should briefly talk about our companions before we actually jump into combat. Ash, despite... We don't really have any skills yet, but, So Ash, despite his looks, is actually, like, a paladin? He gets some decent physical attacks, he'll eventually get some light magic, and the single target heals. It's, kind of a weird... It's a really weird set for his personality, but, I mean, he is very useful, and as far as I know, the only party member you can't not use, so... Might as well have the heals, right? Mar is... Well, he rolls around on things. That's what he's a very... Lot of HP. He's got some taunts, so... Little bit of a tank, but... He hits things with his big goofy head. It's very good. And, Melanie, as you can probably guess, is just... She's the magiest mage to ever mage. She, like, single-handedly just snaps this game in half over her knee. It's... I mean, this game isn't very hard to begin with, so you don't need that, but also it's she just makes it so absurdly easy. We will probably sub her out of the party as soon as we have an opportunity. Although I guess party member 4 is almost as broken, so whatever. We'll see when we get there. Well, that was an eventful trip down to Nexton. I'm actually genuinely surprised that we didn't get a random encounter. This game's encounter rate is ridiculously high.
The woman tells you she's so terrified of what might happen if the dragon attacks the town. She hasn't been able to eat.
Tragic.
Welcome to Nexton, hails a man.
So, what can you tell us about the dragon, friend?
You try asking the man if he knows anything about the dragon. The man's eyes widen. He leans close, cupping his hand to his mouth. Welcome to Nexton, he whispers in your ear. The man helpfully advises you take the opportunity to purchase equipment and curatives while you are in town.
You know, that sounds like a good idea, friend. Let's do that before we
How
continue.
may I help you? The proprietor inquires.
Well, I was gonna say, he doesn't have anything we can buy anyway, but he does have this ring. Melanie would probably like that ring.
Will that be all? The proprietor asks. A woman sits hunched over by the side of the road. Upon catching sight of you, she calls out for your aid. She sprained her ankle and needs you to take her to the nearby apothecary.
I mean, we could, but we're really looking for the dragon. Can we, find someone else to help you, maybe?
Ask someone else, you say? You make to leave, but Melanie stands in your way. What kind of person are you, she snaps.
Look, I mean, I'm very sorry about what happened to this woman's ankle, but we really need to go get after that dragon. I mean, if the order beats us to it, we're not going to get any reward at all.
We've got the dragon to worry about, you say, like an insensitive jerk. Ignoring you, Melanie gingerly helps the woman up. Mar bends so the woman can get on his back, and the two of them head off in search of the apothecary. You watch them walk away for a moment before following, complaining to yourself about what a waste of time this is.
Well, I suppose if we must. Yeah, I know, we can fast travel. We don't need to. This is like less than a screen away.
You arrive at the apothecary. After taking a curative, the woman begins hopping up and down. Nothing holds a candle to Ivory Order medicine, she beams. She thanks you and pulls something from her breast pocket.
I see. You just had this in your pocket? A big black one?
You've helped someone, albeit not quite out of the goodness of your own heart. It might be a good idea to do that again, should you come across anyone else in need of assistance.
Ah, yes, card stories. Okay, so this game is a Yoko Taro game, if you were not aware. And, a lot of the things you might expect out of a Yoko Taro game are here. They're just not really, they're not front and center in the way they would be if this was, Drakengard or Nier. But they absolutely are here. For example, here is this woman's card. Every morning, she wakes up early to get breakfast ready, and every morning, she has to take her husband's abuse. There's only so much a woman can stomach. But usually this comes after we do a quest for somebody, or if we talk to them a couple times in town, we get the flip side of their story. And, well, delicious. The most metal little girl or prisoner. I mean, there's a lot of NPCs that we're gonna... So we'll do our best to get most of them.
The girl says if you follow this road northwest for a bit, you'll come to Thryston.
Ah. Advent, Nexton, Thryston. Truly, these location names are something else.
It seems the majority of the world's medicine is made by the Ivory Order. Many people depend on it. That's probably part of the reason the Order has so many ardent supporters. Nothing holds a candle to Ivory Order medicine, proclaims the woman, swigging this curative and that. Apparently a monster researcher lives in Thriston, and might know something about the dragon.
Alright, well, I guess we're headed to Thriston.
It seems you've learned all you can here. Time to move on.
Before we go, though, we did get another card. What does... Tell us about the Plain Girl. Rain patters the window, a picture book lies open, paper and paint perfume, tiny fingers. The book is upside down, no more light in her eyes, only memories of Mother. A painted rainbow bleeds. Trauma! That's kind of the joke. Most of these are just going to be some level of trauma.
As your eyes roam everywhere but the path you walk, you barrel right into someone. When you turn to see who it is, you see the Ivory Order trio from the castle. Winifred, are you all right? The sagely old man asks the woman, voice full of concern. I'm fine, the woman called Winifred replies. Thank you, Hedwyn. Berwin, the old man calls, turning to their stoic companion. He jerks forward, as if to defend Hedwyn and Winifred. The trio advances on you. How dare you treat disciples of the Ivory Order with such disrespect?
Hey, you know, we're just trying to get by, you know? And, like, look, really, if you think about it, this is your fault, right? You were in the way, and now you broke my foot.
You grab your foot, wailing about how much it hurts, demanding the Ivory Order trio give you money to see a physician. Berwin pokes at your foot, proving nothing is actually broken.
You remember some of these designs from Terra Battle? Yeah, it's the same artist. This game was actually produced by, like, Yoko Taro's whole usual crew. Like, the music is, Keiichi Okabe as well.
Muttering a half-hearted apology, you try to keep walking. But that's when you notice something in your hand. Looks like you accidentally grabbed Winifred's coin purse when you ran into her.
Ash, buddy, how do you accidentally grab somebody's coin purse?
Thief, bellows Berwin, drawing his weapon. Guess you've got to fight your way past. Rout the enemy.
So this fight's going well, as you can see. You are obviously intended to lose. You can win it on New Game Plus because you carry over all of your stats and equipment. And, it doesn't change anything, like, drastically, but you do get at least a chance for a little bit of revenge.
still alive. The Ivory Order laid you out flat. The Ivory Order trio looks at you like they can't believe such a weakling would even try to hunt down the dragon. Taking pity on your ineptitude, the Ivory Order trio uses their magic to heal your wounds. We mustn't tarry any longer. To the monster researcher of Thryston with us, Hedwin urges his companions and the trio depart.
Alrighty, well, let's head out.
Aimless wandering can be fun, but if you want purpose and direction, I'd suggest sticking to the path.
You know, narrator, that's a great idea, but I don't think you understand my, like, primal need to flip over every single one of these world cards. It is of critical importance that we reveal every single one.
Nice work.
Anyway, yep, elements, they all work exactly the same way that you think they do. That is okay. I don't think we need to see our inventory right now. Anyway, yes, let us...
You are surprised to find a merchant selling goods in a place like this.
Sure. Pop-up shop. What do you got?
You decide to take a look, and the merchant welcomes you energetically. You're in luck. I have some rare items for sale, she remarks, lining up some goods before you.
Well, they're all things that we can't afford. We can't even inflict most of these types of damage, so... a bellwether would be nice, but not for most of our money, so...
She begins closing her shop, saying she needs to stock up on wares again. It seems you won't be able to do any more shopping here.
Oh, chest. Hey!
About the enemy.
Ah, goblins. I think they're weak to wind, which we don't have yet. that's one thing that is kind of interesting about this combat system, is that you can only ever have one ailment, and if you get a new one, it will just replace the previous one that you have. It generally doesn't mean much, but I mean, it can come into play. I feel like more so it comes into play on your side, where like if somebody's already frozen and then you inflict poison, then, you know, obviously the frozen goes away. Stuff like that. There we go, that's a little better.
Lying in the grass, you find an old telescope. You figure a look at the path ahead can't hurt, and pick it up. Peering through the lens, you see something in the distance, but you can't tell exactly what.
I'm pretty sure we can tell what that is, Ash.
All you know is there's something up ahead. You should be able to tell for certain what it is if you get closer.
I think we'll just avoid that. We'll get into enough fights without the game's help.
Figuring it's best not to go looking for trouble, you decide to detour around it. Still, you can't help wondering what that thing was.
Yeah, so, something that is a fun note is that the demo for this game actually follows the Ivory Order, and, like, there's actually, like, a whole little quest that they go on that culminates in that little boss fight in the tutorial. It's a neat way to do a demo. In the demo, you come down here and to find a shipwright, and he's like, yo, my boat is cursed, so I'm afraid I can't help you.
And fight.
Oh, there we go. Here's the slime. Up to Thriston? Well, clearly we need to go the opposite direction. I mean it when I said it. We are going to flip every single card. So some of these attacks do have a dice component to them. This just is, I think it's 2d6 damage? Yeah. In this game, attacks like that are generally not very useful. They become significantly more powerful in the second game. Cursed Maiden? Something like that? That's what I think it's called. You know, I think we're okay. I don't think we need any help with items to get rid of this slime. But thanks for the assist, game. Ah, there we go. There's our wind damage.
Thunder roars overhead. Watch out for lightning. That one almost hit you. You glance over your shoulder and see Melanie, charred and smoking.
You know what? I think she probably had it coming after she attacked Mar in town. We're just gonna pretend we didn't see that.
You discover a fine fishing spot. Some boughs perfect for fishing rods lie on the ground nearby. Go fishing?
I mean, what kind of a dumb question is that? Of course we're going fishing.
You decide to fish a while with your companions. You craft a simple rod, attach a piece of bait, and cast your line in the water. As you wait for a bite, all your companions' rods bend at once. They simultaneously struggle to pull their catches from the water. You decide to put your unresponsive rod down and help someone else with theirs.
Wait, how is Mar fishing? Is he like holding it with his little paws?
The fishing line is taut. Careful. The line is about to break. You pull the line up carefully and find a fish bigger than any one man could hold. Melanie is about to say something to you, but catches sight of your proud expression and quickly turns her face away. I'd hate for this big thing to go to waste, so why don't you invite the others? She begrudgingly suggests, then starts a fire. You wish she could just be honest. Even so, it doesn't stop you from enjoying the fish with your companions.
Ah, damn, she's recovered from her lightning incident. A real tragedy.
About the enemy.
These, lion-faced guys. I don't know their name off the top of my head, but they're enemy healers, but also they look so weird. Like, he looks like he's about to start crying. Would have been nice to have that quality salve, but, you know, we also don't. Like, 20 HP is literally a full heal for more or less the entire party at this point.
You journey onward, only to see a suspicious-looking elder appear before you. a bottle of medicine dangling from his waist. He proclaims himself a man of medicine who has discovered a revolutionary new curative. He would have one of your party drink it as a test. There's no harm in trying it, he boldly claims. Well?
I mean, with a sales pitch like that, how could you turn it down? Alright, chat, who's gonna drink this new magical medicine?
You take the stranger at his word and drink one of the bottles dry. You gradually begin to feel quite ill. The world spins. You feel yourself coming unmoored. The doctor of sorts eyes the now empty bottle. Well now, drinking it all at once is a fine way to poison yourself, he tells you. Should have led with that, you try to say, but it comes out sounding more like
You know, if we're being honest, that was probably also deserved. We, probably should heal ourselves, though. So, your gems don't carry over between battles, but your actual status does. So...
gradually become aware of a voice calling out to your party. Looking around, you spy an old man, a traveler like you, perhaps, stuck in a hole and flailing wildly. You yank the old man free. Oh, while you're here, would you mind taking me to Nexton, he asks. It seems an old friend of his lives in Nexton, and he'd like very much to see this chum. He says he'll make it worth your while. Will you show him the way to Nexton?
You know, Nexton's on the other side of this map, but I guess we can just fast travel, so...
You ask the old man about himself. It turns out he belongs to a wealthy family. Visions of lavish rewards begin to dance in your head. You offer him safe passage to Nexton.
Oh yeah, we're basically right here. So we'll just get the inside of this little mountain range. And then we'll teleport back to Nexton. We'll come back to that in just a second.
The wealthy old man looks considerably relieved as the party sets foot inside Nexton. He reaches into his pack and hands you a pouch full of gold. This is to be your reward, he says. The next instant, he takes off for the center of town, shouting, "I shall be there soon, my love."
Oh, yeah, okay, that's a lot of money. I thought it was gonna be like 500 or something. Let's see, where were we? We're about here.
Don't hold back.
Ah, the goblin enemy story. Well, tell me more. See, they love to play pranks and frequently leap out in front of adventurers, and this tends to get them beaten up. Yeah, that checks out. Ah, see, that's cute, right? See, once a goblin gets older, he gains the wisdom of age and begins to assimilate into human society. You love to see it.
You kick a rock down the road, muttering about what jerks those three from the Ivory Order are. Cut it out, chides Melanie. She warns you your anger will only come back to bite you in the rear. You grumble, but your sulking is cut short when out of the thicket leaps a monster. The rock you kicked must have hit it because it is really mad. Brace yourself for battle. And fight.
I don't... It's giving us the boss music. I don't think I would qualify this as a boss, but, you know, whatever. It's the first thing that can genuinely fight back, I guess. If Melody didn't just wipe out half of his health in a single attack. And you know, in a way, I also appreciate that immediately after that, the game's just like, and then we will never speak of this event again.
You come across two men sitting on a rock. They take no notice of you or the party, but you can hear their fervent discussion. You listen in and deduce that they are a pair of thieves. You lean in, trying to hear what else the thieves are talking about. You catch pieces of the conversation here and there. I hid the goods. Head south just before the bridge. No, whatever ye do, don't go into the bewildering wood. It sounds like they've just told you where to find their stolen loot. You hastily grab a scrap of paper, write down what you've heard, and quietly sneak away.
Yeah, so this is one of, like, the pool of random events that, there's like a whole little pool of random events that can happen throughout the whole game, but there's this, and there's a monster treasure on every one of the world maps. So, we'll keep our eyes peeled for a bridge. We haven't seen one yet.
Congrats.
One thing I will say is that I appreciate the, I don't know if physicality is the right word, but like how even though everything is just cards, they still like flip around and move as if they were actually doing the things. Ah, another thunderstorm. Alright, I believe in you this time, Melanie.
You and your friends are lucky enough to make it through without being struck by lightning once. About the enemy.
The double?
You pick up a scrap of paper dropped by some manner of monster. It has a message scrawled on it in crude lettering.
Ah, yes. Urussertat Nelitz. Yeah, it's backwards. Stolen treasure past cave and mountain near fountain.
Clearly, whoever dropped this message did not want to forget where the stolen treasure is hidden. You stash the scrap of paper in your pack and resolve to keep an eye out for the treasure on your travels.
My cat just threw up on my carpet. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Right, okay. Well, that was, an unwelcome interruption, but... the slime enemy story. The hero's journey hasn't truly begun until you've squashed a couple of slimes. Is that true? I don't think I've ever heard anybody actually say that. I think more often than not, people think that they're just cute. But you know, this is why you have to squash them though, because if you let them grow up, they just eat entire villages. Now really puts a different spin on how cute all the slimes are in Dragon Quest. You're actually doing that world a favor. Alright, so we have found the Bewildering Wood, which we were told we shouldn't enter. It's below the bridge.
And fight.
The Furball story. We'll get that in just a second.
Something's catching the sunlight just so. You move closer to get a better look at it. You find a chest lodged in the hollow of a tree. Something about this feels familiar. You fish a note out of your pack. Sure enough, this is the location those thieves mentioned when you were eavesdropping. Quite convinced you've found their stash, you open the chest with a self-satisfied smirk on your face.
Okay, that's nice. That's an armor upgrade. Although I'm pretty sure that's actually an armor upgrade for Mar? Yeah. Why are we putting a breastplate on our big doofy dragon child? Don't worry about it. Anyway, Furball. Their fur grows until they can no longer see. And then when they get so old that their hair falls out, they cry themselves to death, literally. What a lovely creature. Anyway, the other note that we got was past the cave in the mountain near the fountain, somewhere over here. Oh, a merchant. What do you got?
These are my unsold wares. I would be happy to sell to you for a fraction of the price, the old woman says as she lines up some medicine bottles before you.
Ah, yes, a fraction of the price. That's what we're calling 10% off? See, she does not have the thing that I actually want, so... the only thing I'm gonna grab is a curative. And since we're here, I'll get a quality salve.
I'm closing for the day, she announces as she packs up her goods. It seems you won't be able to do any more shopping here. You can't walk on water.
Well, not with that attitude, narrator. God.
You spy a rather large number of monster prints on the ground. A wry smile plays across your lips as you remove the scrap of paper from your pack. You pull from your pack the scrap of paper you picked up just north of Castle Advent. You feel around in the grass for a few moments before your hand strikes something surprisingly firm. The scrap of paper tells no lies. You greedily open the chest.
Ah, just money. That's okay. We still don't turn that down. Anyway, now that we have properly explored this map, not one unturned card to be seen. Only now can we advance the plot. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. You know, I think we can probably figure out what the inn and the item shop do on our own, but thanks for the assist, game.
It seems the sound of a flute could once often be heard coming from the doctor's house. His neighbors complained about the noise, though, and all has been quiet since. Apparently, monsters have been mugging people along this stretch of road lately. The Ivory Order is searching for where they're stashing the stolen goods.
Yeah. About that. We'll just, we'll not mention what we found.
The man says you'll need a torch to explore caves. And, he adds, it just so happens you can buy them at the item shop. You get the feeling he probably works for said shop.
Well, regrettably, he is correct. We do need a torch.
How may I help you? The proprietress inquires.
So I guess since we're right here, we might as well. Thankfully, the torch is one of those items that, like, you just get and it works forever. They're not limited use, but it is going to more or less permanently take up a spot in our inventory. Alas. And I'll get a bellwether now that we actually have a bunch of money.
Will that be all? The proprietress asks. The man scours his skin with a washcloth, trying to rid himself of all odor. Apparently, he blames his natural musk for his unlucky love life. You catch a whiff of scent wafting off him. It is rather pungent. An idea strikes you. Maybe getting rid of the toxins within the body would get rid of the odor without, too.
I mean, I'm all for making this man less smelly, but unfortunately we do not have an antidote.
You take your leave without giving him anything.
We'll take a bunch of equipment upgrades, though. Is that everything? See, that prevents poison, but we don't need that right now. That's for Melanie. Do we not have an Ash armor upgrade? That's weird. Alright, well, I guess let's get rid of this garbage real quick.
The woman who fashions herself a missionary of love haughtily cries she's too beautiful and popular for her own good.
No, nothing to add to that, just I'm too beautiful. Alright.
The woman tells you a monster stole something very valuable from her. If only someone could get it back for me, she sighs. What did it steal, you ask? Medicine, says the woman, to give my skin a lustrous glow. How may I help you? The proprietress inquires.
Alright, let's get an antidote for this loser, so that he can expel his odor.
Will that be all? The proprietress asks. You hand him an antidote and he chugs it down. As soon as he's finished, the odor completely disappears. Overjoyed, the man resolves to tell the person he likes how he feels. From his breast pocket, the man pulls out something to give you in thanks.
Alright, let's see the doctor.
Cyprian Ambre, I'm sorry, Cyprian Amber, has lived here for many years, conducting research on monsters.
I also just want to say that I love that the narrator occasionally just like slips in little gags like that. Like this guy is definitely my favorite of the three narrators in the series, but stuff like that is just very it's really well done.
All the townsfolk affectionately call him Cypri. If anyone knows anything about the dragon, it's him. He's a veritable monster expert. You ask Cypri if he knows anything about the dragon. He says he'll tell you if you do him a favor. The monsters stole a precious treasure from him. If you reclaim the treasure, Cypri promises to tell you all he knows about the dragon.
Alright, well, I mean, that seems like a fairly reasonable exchange of information.
It seems the treasure-thieving monster makes its hideout in the Western Cave. That's where you'll want to head.
Alright. Let's go to the cave, get his possession, and then he'll tell us about the dragon. Thankfully, because we did all of that exploring before we came here, we already know where the cave is. Yeah, you gotta make sure you're at least level 3. You don't want to get pummeled by the slimes inside. Honestly, with the encounter rate being what it is, I find it hard to believe
Light
that...
can't reach the furthest depths of the cave. It may be impossible to proceed without a torch.
Well, it's a good thing we bought one.
You light the torch. It'll be much easier to explore now with your surroundings better illuminated.
But yeah, the game's like, oh, you should be at least level 3 for this dungeon, and it's like, how could you not be at least level 3 by this point? Like, if you did any exploring whatsoever.
Though the torch lights your immediate surroundings, you still cannot peer far into the distance.
So yeah, in dungeons, the big change is that you can't use the right stick to pan the camera and use fast travel. You can only move it like 2 cards in front of you.
Don't hold back.
Anyway, we got skellies and we got mushrooms. The mushrooms are weak to fire, so we'll just let Melanie handle those. But yeah, see, like, this is as far as I can move the camera, which is, not much. So yeah, I hope it's obvious at this point why Melanie just, like, completely shatters this game over her knee. Like...
The ground tinkles beneath your feet. You look down to find it is littered with empty medicine bottles. Has someone been on a bit of a binge? A message is carved into the ground. Never forget. A bitter final missive from an adventurer done in by monsters, perhaps.
Yeah, Yeah, the way that I described this to friends when it first came
Nice
out was
work.
that it was that Yoko Taro recorded his latest D&D session and turned it into a game. See, poison can't hurt you if you just kill the enemies before it does anything. And probably also, Mars seems like the type that has a stomach of iron anyway. He probably just ate the mushroom and it just didn't affect him at all. Anyway, let's, what was that, Red Fungo? Nope, not you. Ah, territorial mushrooms. Even worse. Alright, well, you know, I guess that works both directions. Ah, well, you know, speaking of orcs, tell me about the orc child. Oh, they're craftsmen. That's surprisingly, productive of an orc child? Of course, they're, you know, they're making weapons, but still, props, I suppose. Do your best, orc child.
The door door is shut tight. It seems some strange force keeps it barred. Upon closer examination of the door, you spot a cavity that looks like some sort of sphere should go there.
There's our sphere. So, let's go the other direction. You know, I appreciate that Mar gains the ability to just fucking do a flying kick to everybody. That's excellent. Just more evidence that he is the best boy. And we have a skeleton. I don't expect this one to be... There's our skeleton. Ah. They're just cursed bones. That's not interesting. I guess that's kind of cute. You know, they couldn't be together in life, so they were together in death. And they were so happy in death that they stopped being undead.
Don't hold back.
like fast travel a little bit in dungeons. It's easier if you're going like diagonally, but it is better than walking one tile at a time with how high the encounter rate is.
You put the magic sphere into the cavity, and the door opens. About the enemy.
Jimbo, I want you to ask yourself, do you think that that this hero would miss a single opportunity to do a completely unnecessary thing that makes him look totally awesome?
Congrats.
The narrator says stuff so dryly, and sometimes I almost wonder if it's intended to be like, yeah, congrats, you really fucked up those monsters that were like 5 levels below you. Aren't you a big bad hero?
A claret trail leads you deeper into the cave. Was the walking wounded a monster or a human? A knot forms in your gut. You raise the torch to get a better look at your surroundings. The walls have been gouged and scarred as far as you can see. Another message comes into view, written in tiny letters among the scars. I will find you. What horrors transpired here? Press on, deeper into the cave. Light floods into the chamber, illuminating a scene so startling, you nearly drop the torch altogether. 2 mummified bodies lie close beside one another, their hands clasped together. Beside them, a message written in blood. We leave together. Perhaps they were lovers? Whatever the case, you notice the bellwether nestled in their hands. You gently pry it free, bend a knee, and say a small prayer for the dearly departed.
That is, surprisingly tasteful for what we know of Ash. It was probably Melanie's idea.
And fight. Excellent.
Oh yeah, that's a fun little fact that hasn't come up because we haven't allowed any to survive. But undead enemies like the skeletons automatically regenerate some health at the end of the turn. So that's a neat little mechanic. Ah, the paralysis ring. I mean, protecting against paralysis is good. It's one of the more annoying elements, or ailments, rather, but, importantly, this ring also gives +2 speed, which we would very much like. Because Mar, as adorable as he is slow as sand. You know what? Since he's going first, let's do it. How did you miss the mushroom, Melanie? Come on, get it together. It doesn't even move. Well, this is clearly the final room, so let's touch this suspicious chest.
You make to open the chest, but an ominous voice echoes around you. I will not relinquish my hoard. The next instant, something leaps at you out from the darkness.
Alright, now this is a little bit closer to a boss. He actually has an appreciable health total. 13 damage isn't a lot, but... Ah, right, I was gonna say, that is why we gave the paralysis ring, because that shit's annoying.
Fortune favors the bold.
There we go. That's what we're looking for. You know, I genuinely didn't know that this guy had an AoE attack. Probably because he doesn't usually last this long. Ah, there we go. See, now that we can inflict freeze, Melanie is pretty much just, like, the game's over.
The monster defeated, you turn toward the treasure chest. And see those Ivory Order jerks rooting through it. You rush over, but you're too late to stop them. Sweet of you to take care of the monsters for us, trills Winifred, favoring you with a smile. Tucking the spoils from the chest safely into a bag, the Ivory Order trio stroll away whence they came. Knowing you couldn't stop them if you tried, you can do nothing but stand slack-jawed and watch them go. The chest is empty, save for a ragged doll. Nice of them to leave us the trash, you grumble in irritation. For some reason, Melanie picks up the ragged doll.
Well, it probably was a treasure to someone at some point.
Your shoulders slump. All that effort, and this is all you get to show for it? You find nothing else even close to treasure. Hope Cypri is ready for bad news. Leave now would be the fastest way out. left, the western cave.
Before we go turn this in, I do want to quickly do one thing. So each inn in the game has a...
Well, if it isn't the head of the National Inn Association's son, the innkeeper blurts out, overcome with surprise. You've clearly been mistaken for someone else, but the innkeeper looks so excited that you dare not burst her bubble. Your room is free.
So yeah, each one of the inns has some other contrived reason for why you don't have to pay for it. It is genuinely quite funny how many different reasons they came up for. Inns are free.
The party leaves the inn feeling rested. Were you able to find my treasure? Cypri asks. This is all we found, says Melanie, withdrawing the ragged doll. Cypri's eyes widen as soon as he sees the doll, and he reaches out to take it. Without breaking his gaze away from the doll, he begins to speak. Cypri tells you he gifted this doll to his young daughter a long time ago. But she fell gravely ill and died. Since then, Cypri has treasured this doll as he treasured his daughter. Then the monsters took it from him. Cypri turns to Melanie, his head bowed deeply in gratitude. So you reclaimed the treasure by complete accident. You step closer to Cypri.
Oh, Ash. You have such a way with words.
How are you gonna thank us? You rudely inquire. Cypri gestures as if to say, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Far to the east of town is a place called Unionville, where monsters and humans live together in harmony. According to Cypri, you might be able to learn something there, as the dragon and monsters are not totally unrelated. Upon hearing that, you turn on your heel to leave. Cypri calls out to stop you. Journeying to Unionville entails traversing the dense expanse of the bewildering wood. You'll need this, he says, and holds out something for you. You won't make it through the bewildering wood without it, Cypri says. Your sights set on the distant Unionville, you resolve to navigate through the bewildering wood.
Alright, well that is the end of Chapter 1. So, before we go, let's have a... Where is Cypri? There he is. A longtime scholar. Most people in the village call him Cypri. He studies monsters for the sake of his daughter. A daughter who no one has ever seen. Anyway, now that you've done all that, would you like to learn about the cosmetic DLC that we have available? You know what? I'm good, game. But, anyway, see, it's been a little over 2 hours. Knocked out all of Chapter 1. This game has 7 chapters, I believe. It's not a very long game. The whole thing is like 12, 15 hours tops. So this is it's a pretty breezy experience, and I very much like that it keeps moving. So I think that's probably gonna do it for today. Next time we'll tackle Chapter 2, and honestly, probably Chapter 3. Both of them are pretty short. But we'll see where we end up. But so far, yeah, this has been Voice of Cards. I hope you enjoyed it. I really like this game. It's I really like the way they use the narrator and that whole conceit. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for now. So thanks for watching, folks, and I will see you next time. Sometime soon.